have some, no you can't.
In the final days, before Travis Scott finally took us to Utopia, he wrote on Instagram, "The journey through the album took me all over the world, and I can't wait to finally drop the album. Can't believe it's been this long since, but I'm amped out of my mind. I'm actually ready to run through walls today." And then a week before the album dropped, Travis gave us the first single off the album, K-Pop, which was Anything But, which featured two of the biggest names in music, Bad Bunny and The Weeknd. I'm sure you thought the same thing that I did, was like, whoa, Travis is leading with the big guns here. Little did we know the rest of that feature list on this album. So last Friday, July 28th, he drops the 19-track album. There's the track list. Not a feature to be seen. Yes, so Genius.com is going to help us out with this. So here's the features that are on those 19 tracks. Tizo Touchdown, Drake, Playboi Carti, Beyonce, 21 Savage, Rob 49, Sway Lee, The Weeknd, Dave Chappelle, Young Lean, Young Thug, Westside Gunn, Kid Cudi, Bad Bunny, Future, SZA, James Blake. John Mayer plays guitar on track 6, Sirens. Justin Vernon, Bon Iver, has some vocals on My Eyes and Del Resto, Echoes. Pharrell produced Love. Kanye produced Thank God and Telekinesis, and he also co-wrote God's Country. It really is like a musical utopia, and fans jumped right in there when the album came out Friday at midnight, with everyone picking their faves right away. Weezy posted on his IG story that he was listening to Del Resto Echoes with Beyonce, and he couldn't believe his ears on that one.
Step into the ballroom, so hard to let go.
I want to work with Beyonce.
Yeah, back in 2016, Travis put it out there in his interview with Complex Magazine.
You know, I'm from Houston, she's from Houston. I feel like we're definitely in due time to do some music.
And 7 years later, Beyonce added the song to the first interlude of a Renaissance show this past weekend. And in a very surprising move, she's also posted the audio of the song on her own YouTube. That never happens. Like, I can't think of another instance where a featured artist puts the song, like video or song, on their own YouTube. It's very strange. And people are speculating that this song is more just for Travis Scott's album, that this song is like a transitional piece for Beyonce into her next era. So we'll see.
So cold. It's so cold, so cold.
Kai Cenat damn near lost his mind when SZA turned up towards the end of Telekinesis. His reaction has already racked up 5 million views. Now, while Travis agreed with one fan on Twitter that My Eyes is one of his favorites on the album, on release day, he dropped a music video for one of the Kanye co-pen tracks, God's Country.
You in God's country, not in Montgomery.
Which has racked up over 5 million views in 6 days. But that's not the song that people immediately had a meltdown over.
Tensions is definitely rising.
Yeah, it was Travis and Drake teaming up for the diss track, Meltdown. Drake promoted the release in the wee hours of Friday morning on his Instagram story. I did a whole segment on that song, so you can go check that out. And then, on Wednesday night, Travis posted the visualizer for the track in a final push to try to get that song to #1 on the Hot 100 this week. Now, not only is there no doubt that the album will debut at the top, there's no doubt that the album is making history in its opening week. On Saturday, Spotify reported that Utopia had the 5th biggest debut of any album on the streaming service with 128 million streams. As of Wednesday night, it passed 330 million streams, so it's already the 5th biggest streaming week for a hip-hop album on Spotify. It still has 2 more days to go. On Apple Music, it's topped the charts in over 120 countries. In terms of Billboard numbers, it's looking like it's going to debut with about 400,000 units sold, which will be below the 538,000 that Astroworld moved, but it's still a massive debut. And all those numbers means a lot of people are listening, and more than any other album I've seen in quite a while, there are a lot of opinions about this album. It's really dividing people, including his fans. On Travis's post about the album release, in the comment section, the disappointed button has 9,500 taps, and the album of the year button has 4,600 taps. One person wrote, album of the year. Whoever says otherwise didn't listen more than 40 seconds per song. I don't get what that means. If you listen to more than 40 seconds of each song, then you know it's album of the year, but less than, oh no, you definitely think it's terrible. Okay, sure. Someone else wrote, this album was so bad, like seriously, even the Drake feature couldn't save him. Now in terms of reviews, Clash Magazine loved it, saying Utopia is Travis's finest hour, writing, with its daring, bravado, and continual rule breaking, Utopia is arguably his highest moment, an endeavor of creative courage, one that taps into his core values before exploding them to interstellar heights. and they gave it 9 out of 10. Variety didn't give it a numerical grade, but they did say it was worth the wait. From there, it would be generous to say that they were mixed reviews. They're pretty negative. NME gave it 3 out of 5 with the headline, "Lofty Concept, Shaky Execution. The Houston rapper's first album since 2018 teases a brave new sonic world, but has little to say about what might happen if we get there." Pitchfork gave it 5.7 out of 10. Oof, writing. In an attempt to give the world a true blockbuster rap album, the Houston rapper delivers a shiny, empty spectacle loaded with pop superstars who rarely make an impact. Hip Hop DX only could come up with a 2.4 out of 5, saying Utopia is more boring than Travis Scott. 2 out of 5 is what The Guardian decided, saying the rap superstar gets lost amid sublime sound world. Scott's rhyming isn't strong enough to distinguish him from his A-list guests. Ja Talks Music pointed out on TikTok that Travis doesn't even distinguish a couple tracks from Kanye's past work. Travis's Circus Maximus sounds a lot like Kanye's Black Skinhead from 10 years ago, while Modern Jam uses the same beat as I Am a God. Both of those Kanye songs are from his 2013 album, Yeezus, and on Utopia release day, both Kanye and Yeezus were trending on Twitter. And the crazy thing is that Kanye had a hand in 3 tracks on this album. Those 2 are not among them. So Kanye, you really had a hand in 5 of them. There you go. Rolling Stone and HotNewHipHop.com had very similar sentiments in their negative reviews. Rolling Stone wrote that the album is an empty paradise. He's a brilliant curator, but doesn't have anything interesting to say. While the hip-hop website said, Travis Scott continues to showcase his brilliance as a producer, but his ability to flesh out cohesive thoughts falls flat on Utopia. Yeah, I've only had a chance to listen to this album once so far, and just once is not enough. I mean, there's a lot here. It's epic, like it's a sprawling musical journey. I mean, he touches so many different elements here. I definitely see the Kanye influence, very, very much so. And yeah, I do think that Travis loses himself with all these guests, which is inevitable. If you're gonna have Drake and Beyonce and The Weeknd and Bad Bunny and all these people on your album, I mean, you're gonna get pushed to the background a little bit. And that's what happens with Travis somewhat on this album. So I do like the album. I think it works better as an album of music as opposed to an album of Travis Scott, if that makes sense. Like, I think this does more for just, a piece of music that people can listen to as opposed to really furthering Travis Scott's artistry. But yeah, I love the Pharrell track, Love. I love the Beyonce track. But yeah, there's a lot to love, and I still need to go through it. But yeah, what are some of your favorites on Travis Scott's Utopia so far?